Hi everyone, Amy here with Amy's Weirds, and today I'm going to use the new Crazy Circle stencil and make a fun card with it. So this is one of the new stencils from the February 2023 release at A Colorful Life Designs, and I did use pixie spray on it because there's lots of little fine details. Now here's a photo of the finished card to show you where we're going, but overall very simple in design. So I'm pushing this down. I'm going to use my brayer and really press it into this black cardstock, and you can see it's going to help hold down all those tiny little bits and bobs on this extremely detailed stencil. Now this release is chock full of really cool geometric stencils, which I love to use for just general use backgrounds on my cards, but they're also great for masculine or cards that are just great for anybody if you need those kind of general cards for your stash. Now this stuff it says modeling paste or something. I don't even know exactly what it is, and you can see it's kind of chunky. I tried to, stir it up as best as I could, but it ended up okay. Now I'm using this little paste wedge thing that I can never remember the name of no matter how much I try, but basically I'm just using it to scrape right over the top of the stencil. Now it came off okay when I washed it, but there was a little residual bit of shininess left on my stencil. If I really scrubbed at it, I think it would come off, but again, it's not going to affect the stencil at all. So just bear in mind, depending on what sort of paste or medium you're going to put through your stencil, that you'll want to rinse it off pretty quickly so that it doesn't dry on your stencil. So I'm just getting a nice even coating, and you can see it's this really pretty, it's almost like a champagne color. In fact, I think that's what the color is. If I can find what this is, I will link it in the video description box below. But use what you have. You probably already have something like a glimmer paste or a metallic gilding polish. Any of these things will do the same sort of idea. Just go ahead and get it cleaned off so it doesn't dry on there. Now once this was dried, I brought the panel back and I attached it directly to a card base. I didn't trim it down because I didn't really want a white border. But now I'm shopping my sentiment book to figure out what I'm going to adorn it with. So originally I was thinking this little thanks, but I do end up realizing that I don't have congrats very much throughout this book, so I need to kind of sit down and have a little go and stock it back up. But I did end up going to grab one of my standalone die sets that had the word congrats, because I don't know, something about this, it was a little fancy looking. I felt like it needed to be a congrats card. So I was pulling different congratulations ones that I did have ready. I'm not sure, I think that's Penny Black congratulations. This one is Pink Fresh, maybe. Just kind of pulling out all these options, but then I don't end up going with any of those. I end up die cutting out one specifically for this card. So the very kind of non-reflective gold right there on that woot is the same cardstock I did end up going with, because I felt it complemented that champagne color of the paste really well. So here I'm just being indecisive, and this is when I grab my, this is like a little 6x6 pad. I got it from Joann. It's this really pretty, like I said, not really metallic. It's kind of like a more dulled gold color, and I'm going to use this Pink Fresh Studio, not the outline portion, just the word itself, in congrats, and I'm going to use that on that circle for the card. So wanted to make sure it fit, was a perfect fit, and I'm going to use my little low tack tape from scrapbook.com and run this through off screen through my die cutting machine. I was looking at this and I might be able to, I don't know, cut this down and use that somehow too. So I'll throw that in my sentiment book for future use, but just going to use my little picky tool to kind of pull this off. It's kind of stuck pretty good onto my well-marred cutting plate there. So I'm going to poke out the little fiddly bits, and I will use my artist tack adhesive sheets to put this down on the black circle, just because if I did liquid glue, it would be a hot mess. So this is my go-to for any little fiddly dies. These are microdot sheets. I get them from Amazon. I will link them below in the video description box with any of the other available products that I used. But basically it puts a bunch of little dots on the back of it so I don't have to deal with liquid glue oozage because I'm not a fan. So I'm just burnishing it down with my finger. If you get any little extra on the front of metallic cardstock, the adhesive eraser might not be the greatest to get it off. If you get it on adhesive cardstock, you can take a little Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol and get it off that way. So I'm just going to pop up this circle with a little piece of 1-inch foam tape that I also get from Scrapbook, and that's going to finish the card. So it's got the wow factor, it's got the pretty shimmery dried paste, and it's got the sentiment, but overall very simple in design. So get out those pastes or polishes or whatever and use them with your stencils. And be sure to check out the rest of the February release because there's loads of good stuff. So thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.